The key to ensuring that your children grow up to be happy and successful members of society is a lot simpler than those overpriced parenting books would have you believe. And there's a bonus. It comes with fur and 4 legs. Today I'll be speaking with you about the benefits of pet ownership for growing and developing children. As a person who grew up with several furry family members, as well as working in schools and observing the differences between children who have pets and those who do not, I have firsthand experience in these benefits. While I am in no way claiming that owning a pet is the only thing you need to do to ensure that your child grows up well, caring for and loving a pet helps children grow into happy, responsible, and successful members of society by teaching them responsibility, developing their sense of compassion and patience, and last but not least, giving them a constructive way to deal with sadness, anxiety, and anger. First and foremost, owning a pet is an extremely effective way to teach a child to be responsible, a vital trait for any successful person. As a personal anecdote, when I was in high school, I owned a wonderful rescue horse named Jazzy. Technically Jasmine, but I always call her Jazzy. No matter how late I had stayed up the night before or how tired I was, every morning I would wake up before school extra early to go feed her and milk out her skull. And then after school, no matter how much homework I had to do or how much practicing I had to do, how tired I was or how much I wanted to watch the program that was on television, I went out, exercised Jazzy, groomed her, fed her, and milked out her stall once more. You see, when you have another living creature dependent on you for absolutely everything, suddenly being tired, being lazy, or just plain not wanting to isn't a good excuse anymore. So without having to fight your kids to get them to try to be responsible, they're already starting to learn to be responsible. They learn that the world doesn't revolve around them and that sometimes we have to go do things that we might not want to do. And nothing helps them learn that quicker than the both weight and joy of having a living creature completely reliant on them. Secondly, caring for pets helps to develop a child's sense of compassion and patience. Sometimes the only thing that a situation needs is for someone to show some compassion or some patience. A genuine hug, a patient explanation of something said 10 times before, or an affirmation that someone understands can go a long way. Training a pet, trying to discern what they need even though they can't speak to us, and putting up with their so many strange idiosyncrasies like taking 20 minutes to go to the bathroom or waking you up every 2 hours like clockwork for seemingly no reason at all, takes an immense amount of patience, as I'm sure anyone here with a pet can attest. Being a caretaker to a little fur baby can help a child learn this skill from an early age. Patience is vital in succeeding in school when they're struggling with a concept and need to keep working and working and working until they get it. It is vital in the workplace when you are dealing with coworkers you don't particularly like, or dealing with a boss that is treating you unfairly, or dealing with a situation that takes a lot more time than you want it to. And it's vital in personal relationships. If you can't be patient with the people in your life, you're going to strain those relationships and sometimes even end them. And think, all you need to do to ensure that your children learn the vital skill of patience is open your home to one little furry baby. It is nearly impossible to care about a pet and care for a pet without developing a sense of compassion. Why do you think all of those commercials of caged and bruised and neglected dogs make us all weep? And if you're like me, change the channel instantly. As a child cares for, becomes responsible for, and bonds with their own pets, their sense of compassion grows, and all of a sudden they care about another person's or another being's well-being besides their own. I remember once sitting down to watch my favorite show at the end of a long day of tests and rehearsals and chores, and my dog had pretty much been cooped up all day. He was laying in his dog bed next to the couch, and I was sitting there watching TV, and it didn't last very long. My compassion, plus those puppy dog eyes didn't hurt, led me to grab his ball and take him to the park, even though all I wanted to do was lay down and relax after a very long day. That may seem insignificant, but think about how that type of compassion can help a child in their life and how they can use it to make the world a better place. Not only does compassion help a child grow to be happy and successful, it also helps them become the type of people that care about others and that care about things outside of themselves. In other words, they won't be quite as selfish. Last but certainly not least, owning a pet gives a child a healthy way to deal with anxiety and anger, and a way to comfort them when they are sad. When I was a child, nothing made me more anxious than big groups of people or parties or big get-togethers at our house. Usually that ended up manifesting itself as throwing tantrums, bursting into tears in front of everybody, or hiding in the closet and refusing to come out. Once I had a dog, I was able to stay out and even enjoy the party a little bit without any screams or tears. How did this manifest in adulthood? When I got overwhelmed or stressed in college either because of work or social situations or personal relationships, my dog helped me keep me sane simply by being there to pet and cuddle, but also by giving me distractions and things to do that got me thinking about something other than my own problems and my own stresses. You know, he has to go to the park, I have to feed him, he wants to go for a walk, things like that. When a child is anxious, they can pet their dog or their cat to keep them from the sometimes destructive behaviors that anxiety can lead to. You can take your dog to the park or for a run when you're feeling frustrated or angry to get out the frustration in a constructive and safe manner. And finally, a pet can comfort you when you're sad and give you a place where you feel safe and unashamed to cry and work through your emotions. Growing up with a pet helps a child manage the anxiety, sadness, anger, and any other emotions that come along with aging and learning. By the time they're adults, children who have owned pets have learned to deal with the unpleasant sides of life in healthy and constructive ways that don't lead to sometimes destructive and hurtful behaviors. So, who needs that parenting book, right? If you want to see your children grow up to be successful members of society and grow up well, get them a pet. Owning and caring for a pet helps children grow up to be responsible, compassionate, and patient members of society who can manage the frustrations of life in a constructive way. All the hallmarks of a successful person. Instead of buying tons of those expensive parenting books and going to seminars and then trying to figure out how to implement all of the so-called strategies, all you have to do is the one thing your kids are already begging you to do. Get them a puppy. Now, go out there, adopt some four-legged furry friends, and start creating those responsible, compassionate, good future citizens that this world so desperately needs. Thank you.